Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This is the sound of your ride home with Dad after he caught you vaping. Awkward, isn't it? Most vapes contain seriously addictive levels of nicotine and disappointment. Know the real cost of vapes. Brought to you by the FDA.
Slay the night with best dressed Halloween costumes. From a little scary to way trendy to coordinated looks with your squad, Walmart's got you covered. Find the costumes you love right here at Walmart.
Did you miss us?
They only went like a week without hearing new material.
And we'll give you an explanation. The short explanation is that as sister signs are, Leo and Aquarius, when one of us is like, hey, can we push it? Can we cancel? Can we delay? Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this for X, Y, and Z reason. The other one is on the other side of the phone, debating typing up the exact same message to the other one. And then when receiving that going, thank God you said it, because that actually helps my life so fucking much. So
yes,
we have one of those moments again.
We did. But the thing is from their perspective that they're listening, they heard us say that last Tuesday. They didn't get a new episode of Don't Blame Me this week, but like this is still coming out on a Tuesday. So like tomorrow from when we're recording this. So it's only been a week.
Oh yeah. You guys were fine for a week, right?
Yeah. There won't be a new Don't Blame Me or But Am I Wrong this week, but you'll get See You Next Tuesday and Fisting Friday.
And this is the time of the year, you know, it's like April. What holidays are in April? What 3-day weekends? What do you have? Like this is just, the weather's changing. Is it gloomy? Is it hot? Is it raining? Is it cold? And we're just throwing in some chaos for you as well. So we're just being unpredictable.
I was also working on a movie too.
Exactly. That's the real reason why that was on Melissa's end. And I was so glad because I was planning on playing on all-nighter to finish a branded video. And I didn't have to.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't have to, because it wouldn't have been a fun recording the next day either.
No, it would not have been fun. And like the universe was just struggling. I love that you can't see the video. I just am getting overheated, but I'm not wearing a shirt underneath it. So I've taken my arms out of both sweatshirt arms and I'm wearing it like a circle scarf.
So every morning when my alarm goes off, my electronic assistant tells me this is going to be the best day of your life. I have it programmed to say that. I usually don't listen to it because it's just become so much a part of just an alarm going off. But today I actually listened to it and I was like, I'm actually waking up with gratitude today.
Oh, I love that.
And one of the things that I was like, I'm so happy that I get to work with my best friend and that we are on the same page about a lot of things.
Everything. Don't sugarcoat it.
There's a couple things.
I guess, but you could convince me of anything. Oh, true. You like some blonde men. I don't, and that will never change.
And like, we've been doing this podcast since 2017. That's a long time.
It is.
And we may not be making a lot of money, but the show is still profitable.
Yep.
That's a lot to say for a show that's been on around that long. And it's still making money. So I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And then also thank you to our listeners.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I love doing this with you. This is the thing that has kept me sane for so many years. And you're the best. And I'm so glad life events happened in the way that they happened. that brought us here in this way. I would love to thank our audience too, because I saw someone tagged us in a TikTok that I loved, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I always think about this, but didn't realize, I think about it in the same sense that the person who is making it does. But then when someone tagged, I realized oh my God, we are that to some people. And it was this TikTok of this person being like, I love this content about where it's just two guys who are just friends and they can do whatever they want. And we're enjoying it. We're watching it. We're seeing them live their life or just talk about their life or whatever. But why can't women do that? Why I don't where are the videos and where are the podcasts and where's the content about just two girls who are friends just doing whatever they want and doing what they enjoy and talking about what they enjoy. And let me find the exact creator, because I've also been tagged a lot in the lots of picky pads and lots of the old lady queen woman from Game of Thrones who looks like me when she was younger, which I see that one.
Never watched it.
So it's from this account called KIRYONIX, and it's basically a job where you and your extremely close friend, you can do a very specific bit, or it can be very broad. And it was they're saying the only example I can think of women doing this is Girl Defined, and that fucking sucks. And it has to be feminist in what you're doing or whatever. And I would like to shout out, would you say YELI and there's a dash over the I? Would you say Yelly? YEL and then the I with the dash.
Yaley?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll just give their tag because they are public. But Tiny House Hunting tagged us in this and said, Meghan Rinks has a podcast and this feels like it. I love it so much. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because I was watching this TikTok and I didn't read the comment. I just saw someone tagged me in it. And I was like, yeah, this is annoying. And then for someone to be like, this is what their podcast feels like. I was like, oh my God, I love that. That we get to do that. And one of the examples they included was Hank and John Green. And we are also siblings just like them.
We are.
Yeah. I'm on a creative, I'm not on a creative kick, but I'm ready for a creative kick. And I will tell you why. Unless you have something else you want to update on first. I
mean, I have a lot of things to talk about, but this goes in the flow of what we're talking about. So
that's true. So I guess I should do the first one a throwaway. I don't want to say that this didn't get my creative juices flowing, but it didn't. Not because I didn't appreciate it. I saw Dune 2. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was great. But that leads into what I also just saw last night, which is Challengers. That
I'm gonna go see it probably this weekend.
Pitch that movie. I saw a TikTok of someone who was walking out of the movie and they're like, now that was a movie. And that's exactly how I feel. I want Harry Styles to see this and go, this is a movie that feels like a movie. Movies are back, bitches. Sexy is back. Yearning is back. Bitches are back. And I'm just sweat is back. It was the soundtrack, the whole direction of it. And I was trying to I know that he's a famous, well-known director, except sometimes COVID brain, ADHD brain, whatever. I will know what they did before, but I'll forget, but I'll be I know whatever it is. And we're watching the movie and there's just a scene in pretty much the beginning of the movie and there's a bowl of peaches. And I went, oh yes, he directed Call Me By Your Name. that was what that was. And it is just phenomenal. It's so good. I cannot wait to talk to you about it because, to further prove that our friendship with Zendaya is it's pending, it's going to happen. I was watching, obviously, as I do, all of the interviews and everything afterwards to see that. And her and I have the exact same takes on who the real villain is. And I just loved it. It was just so fucking good. The soundtrack, how it was shot, the whole thing. I loved it.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I'm excited.
It's a real movie. It is it feels like
a movie that feels like a movie.
It's a movie that feels like a movie, and it's a movie that feels like it. I think 10 Things I Hate About You or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or whatever is like a movie that's going to come out right now. Like it feels like this feels like a Renaissance film that's embarking us on like all the other, as if it came out during the time of like the caliber of movies just being exponentially higher. Like it's doing so much. And I'm like, damn, movies go to theaters that don't do this much. Like you guys really fucking killed it.
Okay.
I'm
looking forward to it.
So good. I love that girl so fucking much. I love her. And people are saying that like she's the real villain of this movie. I go, actually, I think she's the number one of this movie.
Stop.
No, but it's
You're
the trailer.
Way too much.
Have you seen?
Didn't watch it. You know I don't watch trailers.
Okay, you don't watch trailers. But you're gonna love it. You're gonna fucking love it. So that's like afterwards, I was like, God, I love this. And then I had to do a deep dive on the writer because he has this and like a short as his credits. He also had a YouTube channel where he used to make like photo booth videos of like just being weird. And they were like a very prolific YouTube channel. It has like less than 200,000 subscribers. But I was like, damn, okay, this is no longer like a ding for a lot of people. Like before it used to make you like less certified or whatever, like less prestigious in people's eyes. But guess who he's married to? The woman who wrote Past Lives. And I was like,
wow. Actually,
okay.
I did know that because in my very niche film group text thread that I'm in that I don't understand the majority of the things that they're talking about. When I say majority, 99%, I do not know what the hell they're talking about. But someone did do a little talk about that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, talented couple. And so, of course, I was getting naturally pissed off. And then to make myself feel better, I figured out where he grew up and went to school. And he did go to Harvard Westlake. And so I was like, oh, okay. There's a reason why you are like, you're totally talented and all of that stuff. But I was like, how the fuck did you get your script? This is like the second one you've done. And like the other one again, like he like wrote plays. And I go, you were living on a playwright salary? And with enough time to make this?
Sold a lot of things that never saw the light of day.
Yeah, maybe. But that's the thing. He refers to himself as like a playwright. And then he like was doing like pop music on the side. Like it's just such an odd thing. And then I was like, how the fuck do you afford this? And then Harvard Westlake.
There you go. Yep.
Which is fine. But it's also, I always enjoy.
At least there's talent behind it.
No, totally. There's immense talent behind it. And it's also, it is so gay. And bring back gay movies. Like I fucking love it. Like this is what movies are supposed to be. And like, so Mods for the last like 2 weeks has just been not singing because he doesn't know the words, but just going, there's a cabin bat, like just the Rihanna song from the trailer. And like, so
again, I have not seen the trailer.
But it's Sex in the Air.
Sticks and stones break my bones, but chains and whips excite me.
S&M, right? That's a song. Mm-hmm. So he's just been like singing that. And then he goes, are you ready for a movie that is so like, and I was like, are you going to be okay if this movie doesn't live up to it? Like for as excited I was, he was like so fucking stoked. And we both like just loved it. And he was like, that was amazing. He literally walked out that. He goes, that was so much better than Dune. And I was like, this is why I married you, because he saw Challengers and said, give me more of that. Dune, I liked it, but I was like, perfect. So it was so good. And the trailers for everything, like Zoe Kravitz has a movie that's coming out that she wrote and directed.
That was originally called Pussy. What was it called? Pussy Island?
It looks good. And I love that she knows her boyfriend's type. She goes, we're going to make you like a Dan Bilzerian type. She goes, love you, honey.
Yeah, it was called Pussy Island. That's what it was called.
It looks so good. I've now seen The Twisters, which is impossible for me not to think of Twitches. And
I just think of Twister, the tornado movie that came out in the 90s.
Melissa, suddenly I might be a tornado movie fan. Like, why do we need so many goddamn movies about, I don't know, like we've got like tsunami movies. There's a big wave. And I go, where the hell? Like we have more Sharknadoes than we do of tornado movies. It's called Twisters. There are 2 tornadoes coming.
I don't even know what this movie is. Is it?
It's Twisters, but it's just 2.
It's the same font as the original, so
yes.
It's
But there's 2 tornadoes now. There's 2 of them.
So this is a follow-up to the original.
Melissa, it looks so fucking good. We got out of the theater and we saw it. We saw the trailer for Dune too, and then we are talking about it today because Mats and I also just watched. We just watch movie trailers all the time, and I was like, "Damn, that fucking Twisters movie." He goes, "Wait, you want to see that?" And he's like, "I thought that looked so awesome." I was like, "No, I'm sold."
The original movie, you were a young chap when it came out, like 3. So you don't remember the media stronghold that this movie had, because this was the first time that like they were using these type of special effects. And there's a part of the movie where like a cow flies through.
I've seen the meme.
Twister. Yes. And so like that was a breakthrough in cinematography and special effects. And so it was a huge deal. Like everyone was talking about this. It was like Twister and Jumanji. Everybody was talking about special effects and like the future of movies with it. So, and I'm really, I think I saw Twister when it came out on, like on TBS or something like that, because my parents wouldn't take me to go see it, because it was too scary. But I will see this film. I will see it.
They're doing these like promo things like across movie theaters, which I'm like, okay, that we're still in the era of COVID, but even if we were in a post-COVID world, did it teach us nothing? Where one of the promo things is like you get in this like little like phone booth looking thing, and with like just recycled air that they keep in there, they like blow around so you're in a Twister, and I'm like, that's disgusting.
Maybe I will go see this in that 4DX or whatever it's called.
Where I saw the beekeeper? No, you do not want to see that.
That was
like the 3
lower level. This one will take you in a roller coaster, moving you around.
I'd get so nauseous. Yeah, you're just gonna be like pelted with like pamphlets and like pieces of grass and like all that. Yeah, it looks so good, and I'm just like, and even like the Stuntman movie with Ryan Gosling that's coming out. Like, I just feel like I'm just so excited for where movies are going right now. I've missed movies.
I haven't gone to a theater in a long time. I know you've been going a lot more frequently lately, but I haven't gone in a long time. I used to go like once a week and sit in the movie theater all day long and watch movies, no matter how good or bad they were. Yep,
and Mats and I are finally back to that, except we have to, we really, what we do see is we see the really bad movies right when they come out. Or at good movies at inopportune times, or we have to wait, because like even getting tickets for Dune like we had to wait so long to find a theater that like was not packed. And we drove like to this random fucking theater we've never been to, like right off the highway to see Challengers, because it opened like on Friday. And so we went to like a 9:15 showing on a Sunday night at this like random ass theater. And there's probably only like 6 other people there.
Yeah.
And I was like, perfect.
I would go to my usual theater, but start early in the morning.
Yeah.
With the most popular, and then go in whatever. And then by the time it was like 3, that's when people start rolling in. I was done. I'd watched 2 or 3 movies by then.
It's just so good. And I can't wait for you to see Challengers.
Me too.
There's an exception to like the fact that like I don't like blonde boys. And I still don't like blonde boys, but I'm like, if that was my love triangle, okay, there are worse blonde men, because he's beautiful, and also you could dye his hair dark. He doesn't have blonde face.
When I saw the poster for it, I believe you sent it to me.
Yeah, I've been obsessed with this for so long,
and I was like, yuck, why? But then when I've seen them in interviews, I was like, oh, these 2 boys are actually very attractive. I guess that posters just made them look yuck.
Well, yeah, it's very much like she is a goddess amongst mere mortal men, and
yeah, she should be.
Well, that's how they wrote it too, and I was like, and she's perfect for this, and there's no one else who could have played that. But yeah, I think you'll love it, and especially like the tennis vibe, like that whole aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Slay the night with best dressed Halloween costumes. From a little scary to way trendy to coordinated looks with your squad, Walmart's got you covered. Find the costumes you love right here at Walmart.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Speaking of gay movies,
my favorite kinds of movies. Girl power. I love girl movies, gay movies, and gay girl movies. Love it. Like I need fun in my movies.
We started shooting part of the feature film that I'm working on, You and I, You and Me, and it was so much fun. Like we recorded the music, one of the songs on Sunday, and Coco was orchestrating the whole thing, and she did a phenomenal job. She got this song mixed by the next day, and it sounded great. And I'll send it to you because it sounds so good.
Oh, I'm excited.
And it was written by the actor Alice Blue Davis, which he wrote it 10 years ago, and when he was trying to have a music career, and it never really took off. And it's coming full circle for him, and then him and the actress Murphy Taylor Smith, she is more Broadway, and the way that they just we recorded this song in, I said I was there. They recorded this song in 3 hours.
Wow.
And I just can't believe how good it is.
Wow. That's so cool.
We're already off to a spectacular start. And then we had rehearsals and loading in, and then started working on the actual filming on Tuesday. First of all, this is the first time where I'm completely in charge of everything, which was a little daunting, but everything went so smoothly. We had the best crew, the best cast. Everyone was so nice. Everyone was excited to be there. And then people kept saying that this was such a fun set. And that's all I ever want, because as people that work in the industry, when you've been on a shitty set, and when people are just so stressed out and the vibes are just bad, and people just are in a bad headspace, and everybody was just so excited. They're excited for when we start filming the next part. My line producer, Sarah, she also an Aquarius.
Oh,
also
perfect.
We work so well together. She's so smart and fast, and she also started listening to this podcast. So
hi Sarah, if you're listening.
But she listened to the Mean Girls episode, and she fully agrees with you about how Kenny Ortega would have made this
I'm so glad.
much better. So yeah, we really vibed, and I'm just excited. It was just a good time, and it's a good run for when we finish out the film too.
That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you guys. That's just so nice and validating that you're obviously so good at what you do, but knowing that
I haven't been on a set in a long time.
Yeah,
like a few
and also
years.
knowing that it's like when you've been on sets that are like, this, I would have done so many things differently, and knowing in your head that it would have gone a lot better, it's still hard. Like then when you see it in practicality and you're like, oh, it does. Like this isn't just like me overexerting like my own idea of like how this could be. Like in practicality, like I was right and I can do this and this is good. To give anyone like an insight as to what a bad set can feel like, if it's you're trapped in a car on a road trip with your friend and her parents, and they're fighting and divorcing in front of you, and you're stuck in the car. That's what a bad set feels like.
And I will say that I've been on a set where the writer and director were yelling at each other, and then the director picked up a chair and threw it along with his script binder, was just yelling at people for no reason. Also, like, I've been on sets where people are just like, no one wants to be there. They're just ready to go to the next job.
Yeah. Or like someone who's like not capable of like running the show. And so you have people who are then trying to like malicious compliance their way out of it. And then you have half of a crew who's like, I want to get out of here. Let's actually let's go above and beyond. And then people who are like not wanting to do that. And then you're stuck in a spot where you're like, where do my allegiances lie? What should I do? So yeah, it's a very difficult thing. And unfortunately, like there are some sets that are like amazing. And then there are some that are like, you know, okay, kind of like similar to jobs. But like I would say like having an amazing, wonderful set is as rare as having a job that you like love and a boss that you love. Like it's just hard. There's so many moving pieces. So that's so fun, especially for the first one back in so long. I love that for you guys.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear the song. Send it to me. Don't forget. You won't forget. I'll forget.
If I had 2 hands available right now, then I would send it now. But I don't.
People are like, what is she doing with her hand?
Holding my microphone.
She's recording in bed.
I'm literally recording in my bed. I love that I have an adjustable bed. So just hit the little button. I'm sitting straight up. My legs are propped up. You would probably benefit a lot from this bed.
Good call. I forgot to put my legs up. Because I move my steps ladder. I'm so happy to see the photo of you and Coco too.
Yeah. Our first time meeting in person.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So fucking crazy.
She's like, I feel like we've been in a long distance relationship and this is the first time we're meeting. And I'm like, it has been 4 years.
That's crazy. That's true.
I know.
It is like that, though.
We literally like talk every day, even if it's not work stuff. We're still talking to each other. So it's funny.
I love that. Do you want me to tell you about the mouse?
Yeah. It didn't gross me out. I don't care about mice.
So if anyone needs
someone come for me.
Oh God. I'll direct the people in my comments. So I'm not going to give like the whole backstory. That's on my TikTok. I have like 3 parts of like describing it. But basically, we have a mouse and there's an asterisk involved in that. And if you want to know what that is, you can go to my 3rd TikTok about this, or you can skip to the end of the first one to see the picture. We're not calling it the other word because it's too hard for me to cope with.
It's a rat. But anyway, I didn't watch any of your TikToks. I liked them, I believe, but I didn't watch them because I wanted to hear the story.
Oh, do you want me to tell you? Okay, I'll tell you
with
the whole story.
my own ears. You don't have to tell the whole thing, just like enough so then I can have a genuine reaction. I mean, I did, you texted me as soon as it happened.
I did.
And if I hadn't been on set, I would have come over.
I know. I just wanted your help. I was like, what should I do?
Yeah.
You had the same thing that Mott's did. So yeah, basically Mott's was going out of town, and I didn't post these in real time because he was part of the reason why the stakes were so high is that like he literally had just gone out of town. And I didn't want people to know that I was alone, but technically I wasn't alone because they were in this house. So he like had to leave at a 5 a.m. flight or something like that. And I like woke up when he was leaving, and he I looked at our ring and I saw that there was like notification in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh my God, there was a mouse on our like baker's rack, and it's like face to the camera, like taking a selfie. And I was like, holy shit. And he was like, whoa. And then then I like went back to sleep, and when he landed, he like called me, and I was like still in bed, and he was like, oh, by the way, I threw away the bananas that were out right on the baker's rack. Like it ate like 2 of them. And I verbatim said, oh, it was hungry. Poor little guy. That's my first mistake, was having empathy. I was having empathy for this little ratatouille. And I then went out to like the living room. I was like, went to the kitchen. I made myself coffee. I made myself breakfast. It was all fine. And I'm sitting on the couch. And so for a layout for anyone who like does not, just to give an image. So we have like our couch. It's got a little like chaise section or whatever. And then there's probably like 2.5 feet between the couch and the wall, maybe 3 feet or something like that. And there's also like a little like credenza thing, which eventually will be moving. That's not important. And a lot of my plants are on there. And so just know, it's probably like, actually realistically from where this ended up being, I'm probably like 1.5 feet. I'm like 2 feet away from this. And I'm laying on the couch as I do in the morning. I've taken my meds. My feet are up high. I'm waiting, just preparing for the morning. And I need my morning routine. Like I don't function without it. I need all my meds to kick in. I need my heart to do what it needs to do. And I just keep hearing this sound, and it's an old house, so I'm used to sounds. And at first I was like, oh, okay, something outside. Very thin walls, poorly insulated. Like we hear everything. And after a while, it just started getting like more consistent. And at first I thought it was like the plants, like something like a plant had settled, or like there was a gust of wind or something. And because I had no idea what I was in for, and I was like, no big deal. I will say I'm so fucking glad I wasn't wearing my glasses. Like having poor vision has saved my life once again. I just lean over and I see, looking directly at me, no more than 2 feet away from my fucking face, is a sticky trap that I didn't even know we had. But if we were having one, it would have been under that credenza from like 2 years ago. Like it would have been when we first moved in. There is a mouse on it, and it's large because it's not actually a mouse, if you catch my drift. And I scream and I like bolt, and I'm like, what the fuck? Panicking. Like, what the fuck do I do? Mom's just left. I call him. He thinks I've been shot. I'm in hysterics. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? He's going to be gone for a week. Like, what the fuck? And I'm panicking. And then I keep hearing the sound, but I'm in my bedroom. And I'm like,
when they're in that little trap, it's just
well, no. So then I realized that it's still alive. I had no idea that it was still alive.
Yes.
And I'm panicking because I can hear it starting to move, and I'm like, it's going to come up. It's going to come off. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I can't handle this. I text, I call Mods, I text you, and I'm like, what do I do? I think I might have texted my neighbors first. And I was like, hey, I think I literally said, hey, any chance that you're home and or not squeamish? We have a sticky mouse trap. Mods just like left to go out of town, and like I am low-key panicking. And she was like, oh my God, I would die. I am not home. And then was saying that like waiting for her wife, and she was like, let me call her. Because her and I are very similar. And so she was like, I wouldn't do that shit. She's like, let me call her. And it's like, okay, she's not home. She's not going to be home for a while, but she says, this is what you have to do. And she says that you're either going to have to like unstick it from the trap, or you're going to have to like whack it really hard with a pan to kill it. And I was like, bitch, I can't do that. She goes, no, I can't either. I don't know what she wants me to say to that. I was like, there's no way. I then call the exterminator we've used before, who like, we vibe, we get along. He's very nice. And I know he wouldn't make fun, like, wouldn't be like, this is like, what an ordeal. Like, especially like being a woman, like being like, oh my God, a woman with a house can't handle this. And he didn't answer. And I was like, fucking hell. So then Mott's so kind. He's on this work trip. He's like, I'm going to need you guys to take a pause. I'm going to have to start calling. So he's also calling other exterminators. He calls one. And I was like, did you tell? And he's like, they'll be there in 30 minutes. I was like, did you tell them like I'm here by myself? And he was like, I said that I was out of town. I was like, don't do that again. And I was like a little nervous about that. But when the guy got here, it was so clear that either he had no idea or he was told that. And like, he was like dad age and was like, oh, she probably knows that I know this and she's probably not happy about this. So he was like so like respectful and so like conscious of that, like rang the doorbell, waited at the opposite end of the porch, and like was very much like being like very non-threatening, very disarming. And he was like, and he showed up. This man showed up. He was supposed to be there within 30 minutes. That man was there in 7 minutes flat. And he was like, hey, I got a call. I was in the neighborhood. is this a consultation? I was like, no, we have like a mouse, and I've got my hair in a bun with like a hoodie on tied. I'm wearing socks on top of my pants.
Was it the Emery one?
Exactly. I needed to be strong.
I know the look.
I needed to be strong. And I was wearing like a mask, and I like wouldn't even put my glasses on because I didn't want to see it. And I was like so worried. And he was like, I got this. You can go in your room, and I will. And I was like, you can just knock when you're done. He's like, totally. This is fine. Deep breath. It's all going to be okay. I'm going to fix this, and then we're going to go on with the rest of our days, and this is going to be fine. And I was like, thank God for this, man. And so he helped. It was like so easy, wonderful. He was like, do you want to do like a walkthrough so we can figure out where they're coming in? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I like can't handle that right now. I literally had so much work to do. It was probably like 1 p.m. Like this was my whole day. My like heart rate, I couldn't take enough beta blockers. Like my fucking heart rate was just through the roof. I was like, I didn't say this to him. I was like, but in my head, I was like, sir, I need you to leave so I can cry and then I can move on with my day. And so I was like, perfect, wonderful. This is all great. So then, I had set up the Ring camera, moved it in a different spot to be like, let's make sure they're gone. And I get a Ring notification when I am sitting in the living room the next day. In the middle of the day, a Ring notification of a mouse just there. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I was livid. Then I see one of another, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, they're the same. I don't think they're the same ones. I was so fucking mad. I go into the kitchen because then that next day I hear some like sounds, and I was like, there's just no fucking way. Because they come out during the nighttime. Like I'm not supposed to see these during the day. Like if you want to live in my house with me like a roommate, I'm just going to ignore you. If like you stay in your room, I stay in mine, you come out at night, I function here during the day. Like let's be real. I go into the kitchen, and I'm like playing fucking detective because I'm like, did this clementine fall out of this bag? Like what happened here? Because at first I thought like sometimes I precariously stack my recycling and then like, it falls. And so you're like, okay, sounds. And I assumed that that's what happened. And then I see the clementine has rolled, and I like kick it over with my foot. And I was like, this is not an old clementine. And then I see the clementine bag has like kind of fallen off the baker shelf, and there's just like little bits everywhere. And I was like, and I like scoop it up, and I like put it in the trash, and I was like so fucking stressed, and I'm like, oh, I hated that. But they need to not be brave anymore. I'll play music. I'll be louder so they're knowing that I'm not here. And they're knowing that I'm home. And I do that, and then I'm like, before I go to bed, I'm like, let me move the camera so I can like make sure I get it in like the right spot. Now I walk in there. It's just staring at me, just standing right there. And I'm like, you're too fucking bold and too fucking brave. I'm like screaming.
Like I'm your pet. I've been living here for years.
No. And then I was like, I can't handle this. I like call Mods, I tell, and I'm like, I'm so like, I was like, I'm fucking done. He's like, do you want me here? He's like, I can Instacart you some more traps. And I go, I don't want to see them dead. I don't want to see them alive, but at least they're alive. I don't have to like, I can just hide. If they're dead, like, no, I can't. The smell, I won't be able to ignore. Like, I can't just like be blissfully unaware of this. And I was just like losing my shit, and I like locked myself in the bathroom, and I like brushed my teeth, and I'm like just like sitting on the edge of the tub, just being like, okay, Megan, it's just the end of the night. You're just gonna like, not gonna look. Oh, God, and just a fuzz touched my toe, and therefore I get so fucking jumpy.
Yeah, understandable.
And I'm like, and I'm already pretty jumpy because my vision's not as great anymore, and so like that's part of it. I then go into the bedroom to go to bed. What do I see? A giant spider on my side of on the wall on my side. And I was like, you need to come home because this shit is fucked. And then there was another bug that I had like step on, and I was like, you
gotta have those people come quarterly like I do.
Yeah. So we're going to, and I was like, I wonder where they're getting in. And Mods was, and I like, after a while, because of like moving the camera around, trying to find the right positioning, because it was like they would just appear. I wasn't seeing if they were entering stage right or stage left. And I was like, where are you coming from? And I finally like thought I figured it out. And I was like, oh, I think they're coming from the spot that they used to come from that we boarded up. But like, I don't know how that would work. And Mott's is like, well, there's like a little gap. And I was like, we fixed that whole thing knowing that there was still a little gap. Like, and he's like, well, it's so small. And I was like, it doesn't matter. They can squeeze their goddamn fucking bodies through anything. So that's one of the good parts of it, is that like we do know where it's coming from. So we're doing a spraying thing on the outside of the house. We're doing stuff on the inside, and we are going to be like fixing that spot where that's going on. And if that doesn't work, I will be jumping off of a bridge. Like it's just, and I just like can't stress enough to everybody that I'm calling them mice. They're just not mice. So people are like, oh my God, be so nice to Stuart Little. Bitch, I wish this was Stuart Little.
First of all, Stuart Little is just a little boy that looks like a mouse. So not the same comparison. This is
a New York subway.
Rats don't run this city. Yeah. We do.
Like,
you have to become the rat czar.
Like, I wish people would understand that it's like, oh my God, these poor innocent creatures. And I go, do you say that when they run across your feet in the subway? Because I don't know that you're picturing what I am actually fucking dealing with.
They can carry a whole pizza. I've seen the ones in New York carry a whole pizza.
Yes. It's just like, you know, I care about humans more than I care about animals. Sue me. There are some humans I care about more than animals, but like, I care about myself more than I care about these little fucks. And I used to be so kind. So the reason we got the sticky trap, because I initially thought it was the more humane thing. It is not. Don't get a sticky trap. But that's what I thought. And like, here I was at the beginning of the story going, oh, they were hungry. Like, I'm like, oh, let's not kill them. And everyone's like, get a catch and release trap. They're too fucking big. They don't fit. Like, it's just so bad. I just want to like board up so they can't get in and they have to go somewhere else. Like, my goal is not to like mass murder all of them. Like, I would prefer they just went somewhere else. So
they have so much place to live in.
Literally. And they don't even pay rent.
They have the whole outdoors.
They've got the whole outdoors, and also like, we don't have the room for this. Like, you're not getting what you want to get out of here. Like, I promise, go somewhere where there's kids. They drop food on the floor all the time. Like, you'll be eating and dining a hell of a lot better. So, it's just been great, but he's back now, and so it's no longer my problem.
Well, I'm sorry that you went through all of that and being all alone when the two people in your life are occupied and couldn't help you.
No, and it was just like, no, I guess I'm an adult now. Like, this is so bad. And it was one of those things that like, it's not a problem that you can ignore. And that was like both what you and Mats were saying. We're like, you just got to get it done. And I'm like, I don't want to, but it's like, bitch, you don't have an option. Like, you've got to do something about it. And that was the hardest part.
Well, you've been through it now.
I can survive anything.
Hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah, I felt just so brave. But it did give me wonderful time to listen to music, because I was like,
put your headphones on and ignore it?
No, not headphones, but like trying to like make it known that I'm around. So the mice have heard, specifically Spaghetti made me feel like I could handle the situation. They've heard Spaghetti so many goddamn times.
Yeah, you're in a little spaghetti western. You can whip out your little pistols.
It gave me the courage. I'll do a little like twirly thing with my fingers and like pew pew. So thank you, Beyonce.
Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadlines so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Close your eyes and picture something cheesy and delicious. Something satisfying. Ready in 3.5 minutes. Like a Kraft Mac and Cheese Cup. Available now at a store near you.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need, have coverage options to protect the things you value most, file a claim right on the State Farm mobile app, and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
To do a little follow-up, though, on something I talked about on a previous See You Next Tuesday. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but I got that job that I was talking about. So excited. It's a writing job, and we'll share more details later as things come. You know?
No, and that's like, I think it's like perfect for you and like the other stuff that you're like. Yeah.
I mean, this is much further than that stuff, but
yeah,
I can, if I can like crank out these scripts, and it's a good practice for that. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and it also forces you to like be like weirdly creative in a way that you can like pull back and use it for other stuff. But exactly, it makes you. It's like a creative ayahuasca kind of thing. That you're like, I can use this for something else.
Exactly.
Happy for you. It's going to be cool.
Anything else?
I think that's it. Everyone go see Challengers. The rats don't run the city. We do. And yeah.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Goodbye.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural Then and Now.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast. And with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.